Manchester United, AC Milan, Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal, Leverkusen, and now Aston Villa. But Liverpool haven't played anybody. I think that excuse has to go out of the window after today, boys. Another 2-0 victory for Arne Slot and his men, and it just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter for these boys. The job that Arne is doing, I sound like a damn broken record, but it can't go without praise and without recognition that he's doing something that is not normal, that these players are doing things that is not normal. And we have to keep bringing it up. We have to keep reminding it because they will not lower the value of what's happening right now and what could potentially happen, right? Phenomenal game. Was a little bit of a lull, a little bit in that first half, but Anfield came alive in the second half, and Arne Slot's men came alive in that second half. Some huge saves from Queeving Gallagher, who will be a first-choice goalkeeper somewhere in some Premier League side or overseas somewhere, right? He is just way too good. And to be a backup to probably one of the best goalkeepers of all time is tough because he probably would be a number one at Liverpool if Alisson doesn't exist. But that's just one of many, many highlights from this game. I know there will be some people that say we should have, we didn't look great. We didn't look super comprehensive, whatever it might be. But let's put it in perspective here. Really, Aston Villa's only had like 3 chances all match. That Ollie Watkins chance that went over and those 2, point blank headers that Gallagher was an absolute wall against. Other than that, it wasn't even close, guys. Aston Villa, this is 4 losses on the bounce for them. And they have some work that they need to do. They are one that I thought was going to be a dark horse in this league, and they still have time to, bounce back and recover. But what better time for this Liverpool side and Arne Slot to be going into a rich vein of form when it seems like everybody else in the league is not in a rich vein of form, right? And again, they'll keep moving the goalposts. They'll keep bringing it back further and further and further and saying Liverpool hasn't beaten anyone. They don't look convincing. They're not dominating games. They're not winning 3-0. I'm not convinced by this Liverpool side. That's fine. You don't need to be convinced, but just go ahead and sit back and watch us go 5 points clear, which we are now. Then we'll go another 5 points clear. And then we're going to go another 5 points clear. And then maybe that will wake you up from your deep, deep denial sleep state that you're in, that this Liverpool team is not only in this title race, okay? They are favorites in this title race. And I will boldly say that right now. Liverpool are the favorites. And they should be. And every bookie and odds maker and every rival team and every Liverpool fan should understand that they are now the favorites to win this Premier League title. 5 points clear of their nearest competition and 10 points clear of the guys that everybody said was going to be the actual winners of this title if Manchester City didn't win it, Arsenal. Something absolutely mad is happening right now at Liverpool, and it helps that Mo Salah is having an absolute world-class, legendary season at the same time. It's Arne's title to lose now. It's Liverpool's title to lose now. I truly believe. I think we are deep enough into this that we can comfortably say that now, A, Liverpool are title favorites, and B, it's theirs to lose. Unbelievable stuff. But before we jump into some of the details of this match, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm happy as a damn clam right now. Make sure you guys put where you are watching from down below if you're brand new here. We're going all over the world, baby. We got people from Cameroon. We got people from Zimbabwe. We got people from the Netherlands. We got people from Sweden tuning in and watching. Make sure you guys put where you guys are watching from down below if you are brand new here. If you are not brand new here, you know what to do. Leave a comment. Come on. Tell me what you think about this match. Who is your man of the match before we jump into who I think is the man of the match, and put some of your comments down below. I love reading them. I love going back and forth with you guys. You guys are some of the best fans with very unbiased and balanced analysis. So I love hearing your guys' voice. But the first half, The first half was boring, but it wasn't at the same. It was very weird. It was a very weird first half, and we got a couple breaks that were so identical. And Nunez finishes one, and Nunez puts one into the cup, and that's kind of the story of his career, right? Where he has all of the tools, and I was telling this to my wife as we were watching this game. I'm like, he has all of the tools. He has the strength, the speed, the size, the height, the ball control, the touch, everything. Everything is there. Everything is there that you would want in a finisher, except for the part that's the most important is the finishing. And I believe that Nunez, and I've said this in my post, that Nunez is a force of nature on the break. He'd be brilliant in a counter-attacking team, like kind of what he was a little bit with Liverpool there at the end. And I think that's why he had such a rich vein of form towards the end of last season, because we were playing, very counter-attacking, gegenpress, win the ball back and then ram it down the throat type of football. That's not the case under Arne Slot, right? But on the break, he is a freight train. The only thing is that I just don't know if he will ever become a deadly finisher that Liverpool need, right? Especially with Mo Salah, who's getting close. I don't know when the hell he's gonna retire or be in the twilight of his career. He only keeps getting better. I don't know what's going on with this man. He's a freak of nature. Never is out of shape. Always is outrunning some freaking kids. Today with Ian Maatsen. Ian Maatsen got freaking absolutely barbecued. Lucas Digne was having a hard time. One of those guys should have been sent off, by the way. In that goal, but we'll talk about that a little bit. But Aston Villa looked dangerous at times, and I know how good of a team that they can be, and the team, how good of a team they are. And I know Unai Emery is going to bounce back from this result. They had a tough run of form, as a lot of these teams are right now. Arsenal aren't in a good way. Man City aren't in a good way. Madrid aren't in a good way right now. Reeling off, 3 and 4 losses in a row. And it's ideal that Liverpool are on a winning streak right now and they can't lose, right? So this is the time. It's unbelievable. Liverpool have capitalized on their rivals dropping points and creating distance, more and more and more distance. And this is what we need. We need to build the biggest gap that we possibly can from now all the way into Christmas, after Boxing Day, right? Where hopefully we're 10 and 12 and 15, 16 points clear by the end of that. And if that's the case, I think you can start etching Liverpool's name onto that trophy. And how mad would it be if Arne Slot won a trophy, won the Premier League title in his first ever season with Liverpool? I think it's the start of a dynasty. Insane stuff. Ryan Gravenberch was outstanding today, and by far one of the best players on the pitch, next to Ibu, who was an absolute colossus in the back. And between those two are my men of the match. I guess I'll decide who is the man of the match by the end of this video, but it's between those two. They had such a huge impact on the game, and Ryan made some fantastic recoveries when Trent, now I'm seeing, is kind of nursing an injury there, and from what I understand, he's been nursing an injury for a while now. So this break will be good for him to kind of get some rest and recover from whatever that was. It seems like maybe it was a hamstring pull. It doesn't look like a tear. He walked off on his own. So you guys will have to let me know if you guys know anything about that injury. By the time this goes up, please put comments down below and let everybody know if it's serious or not. But two outstanding saves from Gallagher, who also is in the mix for man of the match for me. But he's as cool as you like. Queven Gallagher. He never gets flustered. He never gets stressed out. And we're blessed to have so many world-class goalkeepers at one club. But Mohamed Salah, how do you even quantify in words how good this man is? He's probably the best Premier League player of all time. I think this season, if he continues the way that he does, and he does what I think that he can do and get 50 goals and assists in one season, I think this solidifies him as the best ever Premier League player. And to do this year after year, 7, 8 years, maybe 9 years, maybe 10 years if he gets an extension. And I don't doubt he will not get an extension. I think he will get that extension, especially the way that he's playing. He's just getting better. It's like fine wine. He's just continuing to improve. And 20 goals and assists in 17 matches is like, what the actual hell is going on with this player? He's outplaying guys half of his age and putting up numbers. That's Ballon d'Or worthy. We'll see what happens, bro. But what's beautiful about this side, and I think the difference between what happened in the past when we've been on title runs versus now, is that every single player is stepping up and they're doing their job and doing their part, right, when they're called upon. Trent comes off early on and Connor Bradley comes in, had some rocky moments, but really locked down that left-hand side that they were attacking pretty heavily towards Trent, and who was obviously, well, looking back now, wounded, which is why they were getting a little bit joy there. But he shut down that left side for them, and he is one for the absolute future. If something ever happens to Trent decides to leave and he goes to Madrid at some point, we have, I've always thought, another generational right back there in Connor Bradley. Massive, massive potential in that kid. So I just love what I'm seeing. And then Maka obviously not having the best games that he probably could have had. Ryan Gravenberch has a worldie. Curtis Jones finally starts stepping up, and he has another phenomenal game in the midfield with Ryan. You can't touch the damn kid. His close control and his ability to finally express himself, right, under Arne Slot, versus where he couldn't really do that a whole ton with Klopp, where it was like, get the ball downfield, where he now can be on the ball and linger on it a little bit and do little tricky stuff, do nutmegs, little pirouettes, turns, all of that kind of stuff. But the ball recoveries for me today, I think he had the most ball recoveries out of everybody on the pitch. So he's doing the hard work too, and it's going to be hard for Dominic Szoboszlai to get back into this side with the way that Curtis Jones is playing. And I love it. British kid coming up from Merseyside and making a name for himself. 23 years old. The baby changed everything for him. And now he's playing at the level that I think everybody believed that he could play at. But I think this is the Liverpool side we've all have been begging for a long, long time. Competition in every place. No favorites on the side. If you perform, you play. We have control over the matches in long periods and stretches. Impenetrable defense, best attack statistically, and by far the best defense in the league. Liverpool could do a madness, guys. And now that I thought about it, the man of the match for me has to be Ryan Gravenberch. He made some key stops, controlled the midfield. What a player. But what's next? The international break. I'm hearing that all of our players that are out injured should be back. Chiesa should be fit. Elliott should be fit. Alisson should be back. I don't know if he gets his spot back the way that Callagher has been playing, and maybe you ease Alisson in. We'll see what happens there, but it'll be much needed rest. Usually I hate these when they pop up, but I think because the games have just been coming so thick and fast, I think this is a much needed break for a lot of our boys. Mo Salah is getting a break. He's not going to his international game, so it'll be good for him to just get some recovery. But then once we come back, we go again. We have Southampton, which I think we will rotate in some of the younger guys to give some of the senior boys that don't get that international break another week off. And then we have Madrid and City. Bring them. We'll add them to the list. The Grim Reaper knocks, boys. And you got to answer. We'll see you next time. Peace.